Jim Felton of Greenberg and Bass, it's so great to have you here because you're such an expert on this issue. The information that Peter just laid out, the average guy, the average business owner, man, woman, whomever it is, they have, I will say most people are totally unaware of that information. When people come to you, oftentimes I assume they don't know. They get this notice. They don't know what to do. There's a lot of fear this tax season. You have unresolved tax issues. You've got payroll tax problems. People are afraid of the IRS for good reason.
Of course they are. But they also should be afraid of other creditors. And part of my job as a bankruptcy lawyer is to determine whether bankruptcy might be an alternative for a business or an individual. Also, we have to work closely with Peter and the Tax Resolution Institute because we need to make sure that we're not filing too soon. For example, there may be an individual who is 2 years and 11 months into the 3-year period. If I don't look at that issue and I file too soon, I've effectively really made a mistake. Because
Very well said. Very well said. It's a family show. We get it, Jim.
I was thinking of another word, but
I was thinking of it too, and you didn't even have to say it.
So part of the analysis, not only with reference to other debts, but part of the analysis is, can the taxes be discharged? When should we file? And really look at the whole picture, not just someone who's in dire circumstances, but really understand the timing.
This is The Tax Show. I'm Brian Whitman from The Morning Answer, along with Peter Stephan from the Tax Resolution Institute. Gentlemen, you just heard Jim Felton from Greenberg and Bass. We're here every Sunday afternoon at this time. If you have unresolved tax issues, if you have questions about any of these matters, let me give you that number again to call. Toll free. Reach out to them. They'll offer you a consultation. Believe me, I've worked with them personally. There's no pressure involved. They'll let you know where you stand. And once you have that information, trust me, a lot of the stress begins to go away. The number is 800-658-7590, 800-658-7590. Jim Felton, back to you. I know a lot of people in business in Southern California who are feeling the pinch. They're running out of money. They don't know who they should pay, but they pay to bring the supplies in because in order to open the shop or open the business, you got to have paper to put in the copy machine, or they pay the guy who brings the eggs in the morning. And they think that the tax issues can sort of go by the wayside, that they're not as pressing as some of the expenses that deal with day-to-day operations. Is that a healthy way for a taxpayer to look at that circumstance?
It's not a healthy way, but it certainly makes common sense, and it's the way we all operate. We pay the bills that are most important to us, but really what the taxpayer should do and what the business should do is seek out professional help before it's too late. Because what oftentimes happens with our clients, they come to us and they're too far gone. The business is too far down the road. We can't fix it. And what I like to say is, do they need a doctor? Do they need a priest or a rabbi?
Or all three.
Or all three. And the hope is that if we can do enough planning in advance, if we can look at their debts, oftentimes bankruptcy, they don't need a bankruptcy. They just sometimes need some credit work where we can talk to the creditors and resolve some of the credit issues so that we don't need to file. And certainly creditors understand, many experienced creditors understand that through a bankruptcy process, they may get far less in a distribution than if we work out some informal resolution.